who has long been the first to speak out against instances of injustice affecting people of color in our communities. Reverend Sharpton.
Thank you. I'm joined by several people this morning. First, who speaks for the family, Bishop Evans, and our head of the region, Minister Kirsten Ford, and then one that helped to mentor me in civil rights, Reverend Herbert Daughtry. And we're honored at Cynthia Davis, who heads the chapter National Action Network in Staten Island, who called me on this. And we're honored to join the clergy in Staten Island. Let me be very direct. I think, Mr. Mayor, that you ran and captured the hope of this city because you seemed sensitive to the fact that we were caught in between two serious problems. One was violence in our community and crime. The other was police that had gone over the line, stopping, frisking others. And I think that your ability to show some sensitivity is what raised hope and gave you the plurality that you got to become mayor. But now I think we've got to go from that hope to actuality. And people feel that you are not just another politician, but that you're the transformational mayor that they look to be. The fact of the matter is, given the data that we are seeing in terms of these broken window kind of operations, it's disproportionate in the Black and Latino community. If Dante wasn't your son, he'd be a candidate for a chokehold. And we've got to deal with that reality. We're not talking about training. Training is important, but you don't need training if a man's saying 11 times, I can't breathe, and you still hold him in a grip knot. You don't need training. You need to have people that understand the law is what they protect and uphold. They're not above the law. I heard the commissioner say race wasn't involved. We don't know that. How do we assume before an investigation that a policeman with 2 civil rights violations didn't have race involved? So we're going to prejudge what we want and tell the community to wait on the results. I think it is important that we do the business of transforming the police department without losing one beat in keeping crime and violence down, because we are the worst recipients of that as well. So I think many of us are willing to help in a real transformation, but we can't do it with window dressing. We can't do it, as you said, with just some proclamations. We've got to do it with real engagement. And if that's what we're going to do, then I think that I can speak for Nan and I and say that I will be there. We'll be the best friends. If we're going to just play spin games, I'll be the worst enemy, because I am tired of seeing people bury their kin. When I stood with Bishop Evans, this is a real man, lost his life. We're not talking now, too many people involved in this act like these families are props for some other agenda. This is real life. And unless we solve it and deal with it, and you raise the hopes to be the mayor that could do it, unless we do it under you, I don't know how we do it. And that's why we've got to deal with the criminal justice issue, and we've got to deal with the policing issue. We've asked the feds to come in because that's the only time we've seen success. With Louima, we had to go to the feds. With Baez, feds. Rodney King, which I did in LA with others, feds. The state courts seem incapable of breaking this kind of relationship with the police department. So yes, training is one of the answers, but until police know they will pay, and they will pay the same way people in our community and every other community has to pay when they do a crime, it will keep going. I think that Commissioner Bratton, who you told many of us who had questions about him, give him the benefit of the doubt, I think he was right when he said that you got to deal with training. But I also think, Commissioner, that the best way to make police stop using illegal chokeholds is to perk walk one of them that did. And when they understand they got to pay like anybody else that breaks the law, it will send a lesson that 10 training lessons will not give them.